Dropped out of high school when I was 15, got my GED when I was 16. Had already been convicted of approximately 36 felonies in Florida. In fact, I was the first juvenile in Florida to be sentenced as a serious juvenile habitual offender.
So growing up, we moved around a lot like most people, at times a single mother. We moved around a lot, stayed with grandparents, back to my mother, back to the grandparents, shuffled. I ended up dropping out of school.
So I just continued down that path, moved to Texas to kind of get away from some of the trouble that had haunted me in Florida, but sought out the same friends, the same problems, wound up in my lap again.
I was gonna make it by committing crimes. Like I thought, the same way people go to work, I thought that I could go and, earn a living essentially breaking the law. It wasn't long after that I turned 18, I ended up going, getting arrested.
I was originally arrested for an attempted murder, attempted capital murder of a police officer, and a burglary charge, and found myself in Harris County facing, capital offense. So that's kind of where I began to have long, endearing talks with myself about where my future would be.
You reach a point, and even though you can see out, you can see outside of the fence. You're there and you're walking outside. You can see out the window or out the fence. There's nothing to look at, and so I would tell people, when you stop looking out or you stop being able to look out, you start looking in, and then you start to say, well, what's wrong with me?
The wake-up moment was realizing that I could honestly have been sentenced to death or a maximum sentence of 99 years, and realizing that I had made decisions that were, could potentially cost me the entire rest of my life. And if I ever got out, what I wanted to do differently. When I did wind up in a Lee College program, I was super excited to have that opportunity to learn so much that I had no idea of. I didn't have a worldview. I didn't even know what a worldview was. It was just one of those situations where I didn't have very much education at all. And as I began to take the academic courses, government and world literature, and my mind was just enlightened.
Initially, I took the AC class because I thought, okay, here's something, the Lee College HVAC class, here's something that it's a skill that I can take and use it to work. And I just wanted a job, never had any idea, that I would turn into this.
So this is Elite Comfort, Home and Commercial Services. It was founded by Charles in 2010. He started out just like I did, one man, one van. He actually was running service calls out of his Camaro. He didn't have a van. So he asked me about 2 years ago to come be a part of the team. And so now Charles and I are the 50-50 owners of Elite Comfort, Home and Commercial Services.
I just worked every day. When I didn't have a job, I went and tried to find work. And then, now the phone rings on its own. So I don't have to look.
If I did not have the marketable skills that I gained through the vocational and academic programs, without those opportunities for education, I would have been stuck in a low-paying construction job, which would have probably led me back to doing things that were illegal in order to live the kind of lifestyle that I imagined for myself.
Literally the mind frame is, how can you fail? You can't fail. As long as you get up and go at it the next day, you don't give up, you can't fail, because you've come from absolutely nothing.
I think second chances are very important in many aspects of our society. But to an ex-offender, I really think that it's a burden of proof that lies on them. We need to prove ourselves to ourselves and then to the people that are around us, that not only are we, deserving of that second chance, but that we're capable of capitalizing on it.